Hi, welcome to the Tampa Native Show, and I'm Dory Antonori, but you probably know me as Hello Dory. You know, tonight's topic is really special to me. It's been around in my family for a very long time, especially the kitchen area. But the problem is, it only lasts 5 minutes. So get ready to call me. Don't forget to mute your TVs, because the Tampa Native Show starts right now.
Otra vez. Come here. Let me tell you something. I remember Tampa, the way she used to be, the places we would run to, the faces we would see. Yes, I remember Tampa, those precious memories, a city rising on the move, a simple yet progressive groove. I remember Tampa, and she remembers me. Yeah. She remembers me.
Welcome to the Tampa Native Show. Stay tuned now for the fastest 60 minutes in cable broadcast history. Live from the studios at TBCN, the home of the Tampa Native Show. Join your hosts, Mario Nunez, the 15-Minute Girl, and Steve Canella, as they celebrate growing up in Tampa. From Shock Armstrong to Shakey's Pizza, from Braddock Street to Buffalo Avenue. Get ready to call in and tell us your stories, because sharing your memories has never been this much fun. And now, Mario Nunez, the 15-Minute Girl, and Steve Canella.
She remembers me.
Welcome back to the Tampa Native Show. You know, if it's Thursday night and it's 7 o'clock, you know it's got to be the Tampa Native Show.
Back when we were...
Hi, everybody. My name is Mario Nunez, and I'm seated alongside my broadcast partner.
920-2508.
Wait a minute. This is Steve Canella, a.k.a. Tampa Steve. But Steve, now, that was
You know
good.
what? I finally memorized the comment line number. In fact, after the show tonight, I'm going to call the comment line. I'm going to leave a voicemail.
Wonderful. And,
Great comeback.
and to my very nicely done. And to my right here is...
Sally Nunez.
also known as the 15-Minute Girl. You know, tonight's topic, as Hello Dory was mentioning at the top of the show, is something that's very near and very dear to so many of us that grew up here in Tampa, those of us that call ourselves Tampa natives. You know, there's no self-respecting Tampa native youngster back in the 60s and 70s that would have gone to school with a pail lunch that wouldn't have taken a little bag of platanito chips with him to school. Isn't that right, Steve?
I had it in my lunchbox as well, my Smoking the Bear lunchbox.
Absolutely.
I remember that.
You had a Smoking the Bear?
I sure did.
All right. That's something I didn't even know about.
Oh, Smokey
Smokey and the Bear or Smokey the
I
Bear?
got Smokey and the Bandit and Smokey the Bear confused.
Smokey
Well, you
the-
know what? That'd be a good idea, though.
And Smoking the Bandit.
Exactly.
Listen, tonight's topic, of course, we've already disclosed a little bit of it, is the Chifles Company. The Chifles Company, which started right here in Tampa, over 50 years tradition, right here in our own backyard, and what an incredible product it is. You know, I've been sampling the goods, as they say, all week.
Okay.
And the problem is, you just, you know, so much for Lay's potato chips. Forget about it. You just can't eat one. You open up a bag of Chifles at your own risk, Stevie.
I couldn't stop.
They are something else.
No, Mario couldn't stop either.
Well, I had to open up the mojo flavored. Incredible.
And that's just it. For those of us that have been here long enough, and if you only know the Chifles chips as that one traditional platanito salted chip, hey man, you got another thing coming, because I'm going to tell you something right now. If you look at these right here, these are called all natural, and these are the sweet platanito chips. Think of what you got there.
Well, look at this. These are sticks.
Those are
Remember
platanito sticks.
Yeah, how about that?
And for those of you that are willing to walk a little bit on the wild side, try these. These are cassava chips, better known as yuca to those of you that grew up in West Tampa and Ybor City. So we've got a heck of a show for you tonight. Stefani Argudo McKenzie is going to be joining us in just a couple of minutes to tell us all about her family's story. And rumor has it in a couple of weeks, the matriarch of the business and of the family will be joining us as well to tell us all about the early days of the Chifles story. So, without further ado, let us have a couple of minutes at the top of the show so we can thank our sponsors, without whom None of this would be possible. It's their generosity and, of course, their checkbook that makes it all possible. We'd like to say thank you to Alessi Bakery, to La Unione Italiana, Wright's Gourmet House, Stamataka Stalgi and Banano, Amarili's Sandwiches and More, and, of course, Cacciatore Brothers. PJ? That's our next sponsors. Steve, why don't you take it from there? Want to get the next one?
Absolutely. PJ Testing Accounting, Constantino and Company Real Estate, South Tampa Chiropractic Clinic, Housewife Bake Shop, Tony Peroni, the Columbia Jobbing, Florida Blood Services, the Colonnade, Ed Morse Cadillac, Ed Trujillo, Carucolio Coffee Mills, and La Septima Cafe.
And our personal contributors, Kiki and Raul Castillo, Hugh Perrette, Johnny Sinchet, and as of just yesterday, Mr. Ricky Branch, all the way from Virginia. That's right.
Thank you, Ricky.
Sent us his contribution and his support. So listen, awesome. We appreciate all of the love and all of the support, without whom this show would not be possible. So thank you, one and all.
Thank you all.
Birthday shout-outs, without further ado, to Mr. Ricky Rodriguez and Doreen Greco-Ide, two great Tampa natives who are celebrating birthdays today. You know, we don't miss an opportunity to celebrate birthdays here and wish people happy birthday as well.
Happy birthday.
Your question of the week, as you prepare to call in. Stevie, what's that number again?
That number is 920-2508. And that's 813 in front of that.
He's been rehearsing that all week.
That's the comment line.
That's right.
That's the comment line. Right. That's the comment. That's what you want to call in.
The call-in. That's 776.
With your comments about the Chifles
two numbers
show
here.
or whatever.
Our question of the week this week, before we get too far into the show, ready? Stevie, the question of the week is kind of a three-parter.
Okay.
Mariquitas, Platanito chips, or Chifles? What did you call this wonderful product we're about to describe to you and talk to you about tonight when you went to the store and you told your mom you had to have a bag?
Or plantain chips.
Could have been plantain chips.
That's
if you were in the Robinson Plant District. I'm not saying anything.
Called them.
Or if you went to Brandon High School, it could have been plantain chips. Or as we'll find out later in a film clip, they could have been plantation chips as well. I'm not sure. Now, two quick requests. If we have anybody out there that's watching that has a line on auto lettering, and by that I mean, you know, the kind of auto lettering that you see in the back windows of automobiles, we would like to talk to you because Steve and myself would like to put TampaNativeShow.com on the back of our cars, and we're trying to figure out who out there might be doing that. So if you yourself does it, or you know somebody that might do that kind of work, we'd like to talk to you. Call that comment line and leave us a message. And here comes that number.
Yes.
That number is 920-2508.
920-2508, and that's 813. Also, let me go ahead and mention now that we still have 6 seats available. That's 6 seats available for the Rays versus the Orioles game this coming Saturday. And unfortunately, if I don't hear from you guys by tomorrow morning, I'm going to have to pull the plug on this thing because we need 20 attendees. We need 20 people for us to be able to get that block of seats. Okay, so we need 6 people that want to go. Call that comment line, 920-2508, and leave your request. Say, hey, Mario, we want to go too, so save us a couple of tickets. Hey, real quick, because it's appropriate, I think, Steve.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Have you been watching, brother?
The Olympics.
Do it with me. Ready?
Okay, ready.
USA, USA, USA. What's going on with our Olympians?
We got some good-looking Olympians.
Well, yes. The 15-minute girl discovered today the water polo team as they jump out of the pool.
Wow.
Yeah. She didn't know that. She thought they
I
were
had
just
no
like
idea. I
little
just
swimming
thought they
guys.
were dorky guys with this silly
Oh,
looking
no. These are
hats
guys
on.
that fill out those Speedos, if you know what I'm saying. I'm telling you right now. These are big guys. And of course, our gymnastics team is doing tremendously. Spoiler alert. Don't listen to me right now if you don't want to know. We won a gold medal in the women's gymnastics. I'm going to leave it at that. And don't switch the channel. Stay with us right now. At 8 o'clock, you'll be able to go over there and watch the Olympics. We'll be watching it with you. But until then, stay with us. USA, the Olympics. Next week, Stevie, we're going to do a show, I think, dedicated to that very topic.
That'd be fun.
That's a great idea.
Let's talk about that. Next week, we'll talk about growing up in Tampa, watching the Olympics with your family around the TV. Remember, it was a huge, huge thing back then? Mm-hmm. We're going to talk about that. That's next week.
Maybe there'll be somebody out there that has a direct connection to the Olympics somehow.
That's true.
We don't know.
You never know.
There may be a Tampa native out there who has an Olympian story.
Sure.
Maybe they qualified for the Olympics back in the 60s and the 70s, or maybe their aunt did. Or just be thinking about that. All right. But tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be talking about Chifles and all that entails. We met Stefani Argudo McKenzie about 3 weeks ago at one of our. There she is. There she is. And you know what? Our director, Eric Cups, is all over this. He brings her. Hi, Stephanie. Say hello to everybody.
Hello.
Welcome
Stephanie,
in.
Thanks so much for being here tonight.
Thank you so
Thank
much
you for coming.
I'm glad to be here.
And you know what? I'm going to read real quick, if you guys will indulge me. I pulled up this information today, and I think, Stephanie, you'll enjoy reading. This is from the Chifles website. Indulge me for just a minute. Only the finest quality, tightly controlled. From the moment the plant or cassava is harvested until the bag is opened and enjoyed by you, Chifles maintains control over the manufacturing process. From the company-owned peeling plants where plantain and cassava are harvested, to using only the finest ingredients available, we want to make sure you enjoy every bag of any of our fine products, and I can tell you that they are all amazing. Unlike other large chips and snack food companies, we use only U.S. grown cottonseed and corn oil. Since we can only trust the purity of, since we can't trust the purity of imported oils, we just won't buy them. Of course, no preservatives are ever used in any product at any stage in the process. Now, Chifles brand products meet the USDA requirement for a low-sodium food. Our new sweet chip, hello sweet chip, is naturally sweetened and sodium-free. Chifles Plantain products are high in potassium, equal to that of a banana, much brighter than any potato chip. Certified kosher. Today, many consumers are looking for assurances of purity in the products they buy. They look to the OU symbol as a measure of that quality. All Chifles brand plantains, cassava, and tortilla chips, as well as all of our flavorings, oil, and salt, are certified kosher and OU kosher, the world's most recognized and trusted kosher trademark.
Interesting.
With that said, if your lips aren't smacking right about now and mouth getting a little bit wet with anticipation, Stephanie, once again, welcome to our humble little show.
Thanks for having me.
You know, interesting thing too, how this whole thing happened with having Stephanie on the show and talking about Chifles. We got an email, was it about 3 or 4 weeks ago, from
Right.
Stephanie, out of the blue, and
Yep.
it's the show at tampanatives.com, and it said, oh my God, where have you been?
Yeah,
On the
exactly.
subject
It was
line.
like, I didn't know you were around. I mean, and I didn't. The whole thing came about. I was looking for something for a friend of mine about those beautiful tiles at the Columbia restaurant
Sure.
that tell the story of the Don
Yeah.
Quixote.
Hand-painted, sure.
Yeah, those beautiful tiles. Okay, so I'm looking, and I come across the site, and I'm going, okay, this looks good. So I'm reading, and I keep reading some more, and I'm going, these people know what they're doing. And I kept reading, and it led me from one thing to the other. It was wonderful. And then I come to the Tampa Natives page, and I'm going, oh my God, I recognize this. I grew up here in the 60s and 70s, and I've been here, most of my life, and I'm going, I know this. And it was just wonderful. It was so great, and I had to write to you. I couldn't let it go by and just go, oh, well, I'll watch the program. This will be cool. No, this is just so cool. And I thought, oh my God, our company we started here and we've been here. We're sort of kind of part of Tampa history.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Because,
You are. That's what I
we're
meant,
sort of on
absolutely.
the outskirts.
Yeah.
And, I live in Brandon, and I went to Brandon High School, grew up in Clare Mill City. But nonetheless, back then, I
Absolutely.
mean, what did Brandon have? We had to go into Tampa for everything.
Right.
So, there it was. But yeah, that's how I found you guys. And next thing you know, oh my God, here I am.
And we're glad you
And
did.
Great
we're
email, too.
grateful, and we're grateful. Listen, and we've met with you. We've gone through the plant. We've seen the process in action. It is streamlined. It is straightforward. As I was telling Stephanie and her daughter Elena before the show started tonight, it's almost foolproof. You really can't
Yeah.
screw that process up. You go into the storage facility there where they have but 2 ingredients in their refrigerator. On this side, you have plátanos. On that side, you have yuca. From there, it gets cut. From there, it gets put through the julienne cutter, if you will, dropped into the oil, dried, salted, bagged, and out to the stores. Foolproof and oh so delicious. Stephanie, you mentioned that you grew up in Clare Mill, that you graduated from Brandon High School.
Yep.
Your mom will be here in a couple of weeks with us to tell us the story of how your mom and dad met. Tell us a little bit about what it was like growing up in that family as a young child, as a girl. Did you work in the plant? Did you help your daddy out? What did you do on weekends?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, when it was all getting started, of course, it was a home-based business. I mean, the home-based business, because we had literally the bottom of my mother's pressure cooker, like a strainer the big,
a
pot
basket?
strainer.
Sure.
Yeah, exactly, the basket, and a mandolin. And you're just whizza, 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 over the oil and going in there and doing that. And of course, there were all the, you had to do the experiments with the oil and the salt and the temperature and the, ripeness or whatever of the plantain. And my father, being the scientific person, because he was a geophysicist, everything was meticulously calculated and, written down and everything.
Documented, sure.
Right. But that's how we got the product that we have, is because every single thing was documented and written down. We still have those notebooks with his recipes.
Oh, that's amazing.
Very
That's
and that
amazing.
is really cool.
The photographs that will be coming up
yeah.
behind us as we get our callers, and we'll be going to our callers here as well. There's the number, 977-6800.
We have one
Feel
already.
free to call in. We've got one caller on the line waiting.
That's a great picture.
That's an amazing, amazing photo.
That is.
Tell us a little bit about this photograph.
Okay, this is an old photograph. This is the kind of home that my father was born into and grew up in the jungles of Ecuador. That's where he came from.
Wow.
And
that's where your plátanos come from today still?
yes, we do get them from other countries, but most
By
of
and
them
large
come from
from Ecuador.
Ecuador. Yes.
And from those humble beginnings,
Yes.
your pop made the he made the move to the United States. We'll get to that. We're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. Talk to us about this here.
Okay, the gentleman on the right was my father when he was a young man. He was a gold miner at one time. He had several different, several different professions before he came to the United States, which he came to the U.S. on a scholarship
There you go.
to study geophysics. And
geophysics, I'm thinking probably this might have been the
Part of it, huh?
40s, maybe even the early 50s.
No,
certainly
early 40s.
Early 40s, that's right, early
Yeah.
40s. So, jungles of Ecuador, humble beginnings. You saw the thatched hut there. I mean, that was a one room probably. Where the family did everything they needed to do, and then geophysicist. That's pretty cool. That's a big leap of faith.
That's a huge leap.
It's amazing, really.
I remember taking my grandmother her first refrigerator in the 1970s.
Oh, man.
So before then, it was hauling ice, like you had ice boxes here in the
No,
United
you
States?
didn't even have ice.
No ice.
There was nothing. Wow. And we put it in a house. Well, it was a lot. It was nicer than that, but it was still. It was
The electricity might have been at a premium.
Well, the electricity was kind of
Hit or miss?
iffy. Yeah, it was kind of iffy. I can remember one time plugging in an iron and the electricity went whoop,
Oh,
for the
wow.
village.
Just use it all
This
up.
lady
That's my
here?
grandmother, yes.
That is your abuela.
That-
What
that
a
was-
wonderful, wonderful
yes,
picture.
That was my abuelita. She was precious. And
What was her name?
Aurelia Saldaña.
Oh, how pretty.
Aurelia.
Yes, Aurelia. She lived to
beautiful
be
name.
104.
Wow.
Right.
And did she ever move to the States?
No, she used to come up and visit us all the time, but no, she never moved here to live. Of
So
course,
she stayed in Ecuador her
yes,
entire
she
life.
stayed in Ecuador her
That's
entire life.
amazing. Well,
But-
we've got a call. Let's go to our first caller.
Absolutely. Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hi, it's Maida Torres, who now lives in Tampa. I'm in New Orleans, but I'm from Tampa.
That's
This
right.
is Maida
Hi.
Torres. If you want to bring us back up in the four-shot, Eric, this is Maida
is
Torres,
great.
who we have conversations with from time to time.
On Facebook.
Maida, we're so glad that you called in because before you get your question in for Stephanie, I have a special request for not only for you, Maida, but for all of our fans all across the country. We would like to ask that if you would please don't walk to your nearest grocer. Buy yourselves a bag of Chifles, be it cassava chips or the traditional plantain chips, and take.
Chifles in my cabinet.
Well, then, Maida, then you're one step ahead of the game. We want you to take a photograph of yourself,
Holding the
or
bag.
or a friend of yours,
Yeah.
perhaps, taking a photograph of you holding the bag.
Yeah.
Send it to us. We already have one from Tom from New York that we're going to show next week. We'll show it 2 weeks from now when Stephanie's mom is here as a tribute to her family,
That'd be really
to the
great.
wonderful success of this beautiful product.
I could not live without Chifles.
Well,
They're like the only snack that unsalted saltines and Chifles are my only two snacks.
and had you
Thank
had the
you.
opportunity to talk to Stephanie before, or have you met? Perhaps you know Stephanie.
I don't believe I know.
I don't think I've had the pleasure, Maida, but I'm talking to you now.
There you go. There you go. And that's quite a compliment. She
Oh,
says
I know you now.
Yes, you do.
from New Orleans and
That's right,
and
yeah.
watches the
No, from Tampa.
from Tampa, living in New Orleans currently.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
You're
That's
an
wonderful.
expat.
My family goes way back in Tampa. My grandfather had 3 cigar factories in Ybor City, and he was one of the founders of Centro Estudiano, and he was the only man that was ever president twice.
Wow,
Excellent.
That's
Very
deep roots. So when you make your next pilgrimage home, I'll say
Yeah.
home because this is where your home is, Tampa. You're just temporarily living there
Exactly.
in New Orleans.
Yeah.
When you make your next pilgrimage home, let us know. Give us a heads up ahead of time. We'll see if we can't get you to come on the show, and perhaps you can tell your family
That'd be
story as
great.
well. We try to document all these stories because, we have a little,
Relationship.
dare I say, we have a relationship, that sounds awful
Yes,
suspicious.
we do
We
have-
have a relationship now with USF.
Right.
So all of these shows that we're actually archiving into perpetuity, USF will be putting in their historic archives. So we want to hear your
Oh,
story
my
as well.
sister Marcella was in the very first class at University of South Florida.
Wow, that's in the 1950s, right? 56, 57, something like that?
Late
58?
Yeah, my younger sister knows all these dates. She's the historian in the family, and she lives in Tampa. She never left. Patricia Torres, she went to the Academy, the Holy Names, all her, the whole
Then
way.
I bet you any money she knows where the Chifles, where the manufacturing facility for Chifles is currently to this day.
She probably does,
Which
yeah.
is out there on Causeway.
Well, the Tampa Native show, but she's always busy. And I'm very upset tonight because I can't find it on my computer.
Oh.
That's unfortunate. TBCN, Tampa Bay Community Network, tbcn.org, and then go to Watch Us and navigate the channels. There's not that difficult. There's 3 quick steps. Before we let you go, Maida, give us your Bolita winning number.
18.
I'm so
Okay.
glad you called.
18.
Listen, also you have to tell us, Mariquitas, Platanito Chips, or Chifles. What did you call them when you took them to school with you?
Chifles.
There it is.
Okay.
Chifles. We have our first Chifles of the night. Maida, thank you so much for
Thank you
calling.
for calling.
We really appreciate you watching
Thank
when you
you.
can.
Okay.
Thank you, Maida.
Tell me again, it's TCBN what?
No, that's
TBCN.
TCBY. That's a yogurt thing. Don't get confused. This is
No, TCBN.
no. TB, Tampa Bay Community Network. So it's tbcn.org.
Bless America. I'm trying to do this with one hand. TBCN.
N.org.
There it is. It's on the screen.
There it is on the screen, darling. And stay tuned because we're going to have that drawing after a bit. You may win.
Okay.
Never know.
Thank you, honey.
It's an
I love
exciting
you guys.
prize.
Thank you,
too.
Maida. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much for
Maida.
calling.
That's
We
a
have
great call.
callers, really and truthfully, we have fans from all over the country. We do have one gentleman that watches us from Curitiba in Brazil.
Wow, that's
Okay,
great.
he watches us online. We have Tom from New York, who's steady Eddie. I'm surprised he's not
I'm
calling.
surprised.
Right? Got lines open if you'd like to call in. This would be a great time to call in. We're talking about Chifles tonight with Stefani Argudo McKenzie. Look at that photograph
Yeah.
right there.
It's a seaplane. It's
Yeah,
an
let's
old
talk about that
seaplane.
seaplane right there. And what is the significance of that seaplane?
Well, the seaplane was, my dad used to joke and say that that's how he got to work because when he was exploring for oil in the jungles of Ecuador, that's how they got to work. It was either that or a mule. And he went back to the jungles. My mother will tell you the whole story, but she hopped a plane in 1949, went to Ecuador, got married, and 3 weeks after they were married, he went back into the jungles, back to work. She stayed in Quito with my, with the
With your
in-laws.
abuelita, sure.
Yeah, with my abuelita and my abuelo. And of course, she didn't speak Spanish, they didn't speak English. So this was real interesting. And she said that at night they would sit down after dinner, and her Spanish lessons consisted of, like copa, pluma, that sort of
Tenedor,
thing. Exactly,
cuchillo.
tenedor, vaso,
Wow.
cuchillo,
Communicate.
that kind
And again,
of thing.
tell everybody that might have just tuned in where your mom was from.
She is from a little town called Albemarle, North Carolina.
How about
wow.
that? If
amazing.
if that doesn't smack of Ricky and Lucy,
Yeah,
I know.
and Cuba meeting Alabama,
Doesn't it though?
It's one of those
and,
deals.
and they met in Washington, D.C. My mother was working for the agriculture department, and my father had just come to the U.S. on his scholarship, and they happened to live in the same boarding house.
Wow.
And that's how they met. And my father said, well, that he needed to find somebody to teach him English, so he picked the prettiest girl in the boarding house to
that
teach him
something?
English.
That is interesting.
We've seen pictures of your pop, and your pop was quite a character. Now, this photograph
there was-
here,
that is my grandfather.
that's
my abuelo.
Isn't
Yes.
that amazing? And-
That's
and-
my
and
abuelo.
Look at those plátanos.
Wow.
Yes, that is a little later in life. He owned some banana and plantain plantations, and so those were those are some of the fruits of his labors.
And quite a healthy bunch, those two.
Yes,
now,
they very much are.
The question Sally and I asked, and Steve couldn't answer this for us, but perhaps you can. The little girl that's with your abuelito, was she just tucking one leg behind her, or did she have one leg?
No, she was just tucking one leg.
Okay, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Thank goodness, because
Yeah.
for the longest time we were contemplating, it looked like she was just tucking one leg up from behind her.
Actually, you don't find a whole lot of, how you would think, like poverty and starvation and that sort of thing in Ecuador, because Ecuador is a very rich country agriculturally, and
There's
people
food everywhere.
have, they and truthfully, they have some of the best cuisine in the world. They really do. I've been there. I mean, the food is fabulous.
I can vouch for that personally, because
Yeah.
in my travels I've been to both Quito and
Yes,
Guayaquil,
uh-huh.
and two of those hotels that we stay in there have an amazing breakfast buffet that you would think would be like a lunch or a dinner buffet, and you can get arroz con frijoles, whatever, for breakfast, which is pretty cool.
That is
you
nice.
give your plátanos, and of course they make their tortillas too, the omelets. But I'm just saying, what Stephanie is alluding to is absolutely spot on. Everything grows there.
The soil is rich, too.
So the soil is amazingly rich. So everything is abundant. Even
Yes.
to this day, it's not. It's still not spoiled. It's still not
No.
overpopulated.
No.
Over there. We've got another call.
I talked to Stephanie already about going there myself. I want to go.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you do.
You
You've got
know what
something-
I love?
You've got something with Cuenca. Don't tell me, as I don't want to know. But you've got.
On the in the hotels, I'm sure you've seen it since you've been there so many times. But what I love in the hotels is they have on the menu card the chuchaki breakfast, which is the hangover breakfast.
Oh.
And you get like mondongo or tripe and this, that, and the other,
Wow.
and a beer with it. You know?
Care of the dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Steve, this is PJ. How are you doing, my man?
Hey, PJ.
Hi, Mr.
How's it
Testa.
going?
Hey.
Thanks for
How you
calling
doing,
in.
Mario?
Welcome to our show.
You better believe it.
Hey, we're talking Chifles tonight with Miss Stefani Argudo McKenzie. Talk to us, PJ. Tell us your fondest Chifles memory.
Well, I went to Sulphur Springs Elementary and Junior High School, and I was like there was like 3 Latins in the whole school, and I was one of the only ones that ever took them to lunch with me.
Oh, I bet
They
you
would
were
put
popular.
those plantain chips in my lunch, and I loved them. They were great.
Did you share them?
Another thing, Mario, I have a check waiting for you.
Well, thank you so much for that
that's-
gratuitous and salacious supporting. We love that. We love that, PJ. And you know what? Are you there in the office tomorrow?
Yes, I'll be there till 11 o'clock.
Keep the coffee on. I'm coming to get that check. I promise you.
Right.
Now listen, did you call them mariquitas, platanito chips, or chifles back in the day?
Plantain chips.
Plantain
See?
chips, okay? Now listen, I'm not going to argue with that, because there were some of us here on this
Plantain.
panel that called them plantain
That's what
chips
we
as well.
called them, too.
And here's the challenge for you, and I'm going to bring you a bag tomorrow. I dare you to eat just one.
All
I dare
right,
you.
I know that game.
I double dog dare you. You bust that pack open, you're a goner. I was telling Stephanie beforehand, I'm afraid to check my cholesterol in about 8 weeks,
Yes.
Oh, I don't even worry about it anymore.
because I've been sampling these different
He's
packs.
eaten about 3 bags by himself.
Right under the bus.
I can vouch for
Here
that.
on live TV, right under the bus. But I will be honest. I'll be an honest broker. They're delicious.
I know
Absolutely
they are.
delicious.
And I haven't had them in a while either.
Well, we're going to bring you a bag tomorrow. Do you have a preference? Because I got a box right here behind me. You want the sweet ones? You want the salted? You want the unsalted? You tell me.
Or the sticks.
Bring the box and let him choose.
Bring me the sweet ones.
You got
okay.
it. You got
We
it.
need
let him
your
say.
Bolita number, PJ.
Your Bolita number?
Oh, 14 as always.
14 it is. 14
Got you
it is.
down.
Thank you so much for calling, PJ. This is PJ
And thank you for the
Testa.
check, PJ.
Guys,
He
good to
is-
see
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you. Good to see you as well. And we'll see you tomorrow
Thanks.
morning.
Big supporter of the
Good,
show.
Mario.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye, PJ. PJ Testa, Accounting Services right there in Drew Park. Been with us since the very, very first broadcast, and one of our biggest fans and biggest supporters, and a Tampa native.
That's
And a
wonderful.
Third
Tampa
generation,
native.
I think,
PJ, I
right?
think he said he graduated
Second or third.
Chamberlain High School, class of 65, right in there. So, he
65,
he knows
yeah.
a word he speaks when he's talking about, the Lock Raven Golf Course. When Fowler Avenue was not much, there
Yeah,
wasn't anything
it was
going,
nothing there.
Nothing. When you went much beyond Hillsborough Avenue, and there was nothing. We talked about it when you left downtown Tampa to
The
go to
good
Brandon.
old days, as I like
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
call
the good
it.
That's
old
true.
days.
Highway
And that-
60 was a 2-lane road.
Highway
Yeah.
60 was 2 lanes, and nobody was going more than 40 miles an hour on there. It was
Heck
pitch
no.
dark
No
at night.
traffic.
You went through Brandon what was it? Yeehaw Junction was the next one.
Yeah.
And there was one
That was
stoplight
it.
in Brandon. It was over there at Frenchie's.
Yeah.
There was one stoplight.
Yeah.
That's it. Maybe even a flashing yellow. These nice people here. This is your abuela again.
This is my.
This is North Carolina.
Yes, this is my.
North Carolina's in the house.
It's my my
This is
mother's
grandma.
my mother's mother
Right.
and
She
my
looks
mother's
a
father,
lot
my
like my
grandmother and my
great-grandmother.
grandfather, and they're lovely, lovely people. And
Do you remember much about going up there to see them when you were little?
Yes. And it was a lovely place. I never saw the old family homestead, but I've heard it was huge. Well, there were 10 children, so
boy.
there was something like 6 bedrooms, but lovely people. And my grandmother was horrified that my mother was going to Ecuador to get married.
Oh, look at that.
And this is the airplane that my mother rode on from Miami to Ecuador, and she's there somewhere. I think they're in the front.
Maybe in the front, yeah.
Yeah,
looks
getting
like
off
her.
the plane, and you'll see that great big you see the fire extinguisher there.
Mm-hmm.
They said that was their version of fire safety.
No, fire safety back in the 1940s.
In 1949,
gosh.
that was it, and that was her. Or I don't remember which one. It was my grandmother. No, it was my mother's or my father's plane ticket when they came to the U.S.
We've got 2 callers holding, but I got to sneak this in real quick, and then we'll go to our next caller. When you were in high school, Stephanie, did you feel like, first of all, your upbringing was amazingly
Different.
unique and
Diverse,
and
for
eclectic and diverse and all
Yeah.
those neat words that means really exotic.
Yeah,
Did you-
different for sure.
And really cool.
Yeah.
Did you feel like you were an exotic when you were at Brandon High School? Because A, you were bilingual, number one. B, your last name was Argudo, which,
Yes.
people would go like, okay, Arguda, what's that all about? You're in Brandon.
Yeah,
and
well,
you're-
take and roll was always the same. It was Stephanie, and then they'd stop.
Right.
And I'd go, Argudo, it's me, I'm here.
That's
you know?
amazing to me. How
So-
they just never know how to pronounce names.
No,
the
and it's so
teachers.
easy,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, it's not that
Yeah.
difficult. And
But
then
yes, I felt different. I knew I was different.
Special.
Different. And it didn't help that also, it's another long story, but I had started out school in the educational system in Cuba, and I wound up skipping a grade. So I was younger than everybody else, too. I graduated from high school when I was 16.
Oh.
You know,
we want to
and-
get to our callers, but I definitely want to hear the story about Cuba because
Yeah.
we know a little
That
bit
was-
about that.
yeah, that's
That's a
fascinating.
pretty cool story.
It's very
and,
nice,
and,
yeah.
and again,
Very interesting.
how cool is it to have grown up as Stefani Argudo, forgive me for saying so, and being able to say, I'm going to go see my abuelita in the jungles of Ecuador, and then I'm going to go see my grandparents in North Carolina. So, I mean,
Or-
as diverse as that is,
Yeah.
but how neat.
On top of that, she can actually show her classmates, hey, look, made in Tampa.
Yeah, made
You know?
by
Yeah.
my
Made in
parents.
Tampa by my family.
All right, let's go to the phone.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
And I probably bagged them.
Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
It's Tom from New York.
There
Hi,
he is.
Tom.
From New York. See, we've got them all over the
Tom,
country.
you're a little late.
Tom, you're a little bit late. What's going on over there?
Tampa Steve, and welcome Stephanie.
Well,
Thank you.
How are those
How you doing this
Chifles?
evening?
good, Tom. Now we know because we've
Yeah.
seen the photo evidence.
We have it tonight.
We've seen the photo evidence that you are a big fan of Chifles and you can purchase them up in New York. Tell Stephanie where in New York you purchase your Chifles.
Actually, the store just 2 miles from here.
Hey.
Stop and Shop. It's one of the main grocery stores here. I have to say, I have a bag, open bag. I have sitting
A little delay there, huh, Tom?
me, and there are crumbs in the bottom, so you know what I'm doing. I'm tipping that bag after
They're
I get
rather
up.
addicting.
Yeah, you can't.
That's
you know
fine.
that it's really a shame that that Lay's did what they did and coined that phrase. You can bet you just can't eat one because I tell you what, Chifles got them. They'll double down on that any time, man. I mean those.
Like, I got a new one for you, though.
Go ahead.
Look at that picture. I'm giddy for Chifles.
All right.
He's all right now. All right now. That's the French pronunciation. I believe that's the French pronunciation.
Chifles?
That looks giddy.
Chifles.
We'll have to trademark that one.
Very, very nice. Did you have a question for Stephanie? We've been talking about her upbringing. We've been talking about her history. Did you have a question already in mind, or?
Stephanie, it's another success story of people coming to America and making something and struggling.
Yes.
And how does that feel to you, going back and thinking about what your family went through at the beginning when you were in that kitchen? And did you ever think you were going to be this big and be, successful at this?
Well, we always hope, but you have to remember I was about 11 or 12 when they started, so it was a little ajeno to me. But I have to say that now, and I have been for many years, I'm so proud of my family and for what they did, and to really have the guts and the pluck and to just go ahead with their dreams and have it pay off. And I'll say something else. I'm very, very aware and very proud of the fact that I live in the United States and that I'm an American citizen, because it could have all been so very different. And you know, you take me to a place like Ellis Island, I just fall apart, because I look and I see these people's stories and I say, you know, I'm a first generation, you know, American. I mean, you know, yes, my mother was already American, but you know, it means a lot to me. And I'm so proud and so happy that my parents were able to realize that Horatio Alger story and dream, because so few people get that. And it doesn't mean that you didn't work hard enough or anything if you don't get it. It's just some people are just smiled on and it works. And my family was lucky enough. And I'm so happy and so proud.
Sounds like a very great combination too.
Great
Mom
question
and Dad.
from Tom from New York, as always. Tom, you never disappoint us, my brother. Thank you so much for that.
And your Bolita number
for
is?
tonight?
42.
42.
Something will never change. Tommy, you're the best, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Take care, brother. We'll talk to you soon.
Very inspiring story.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wasn't it?
An awe-inspiring
It really
story,
is.
to be honest with you. And again, going back to what we discussed at the top, it's almost fail-safe and foolproof. Can't mess it up. And why would you want to? Why would you want to tinker with it? I mean, yeah, we've got now, is it safe to say a cornucopia? I don't even know what that word means, but we've got one of those. We've got a whole variety now.
Yeah, I never realized there were that many different flavors.
Yeah, you get the variety pack now, and they're all fantastic. But the point is, they all go through the same process, man. They all go through the same chipper. They all go through the same oil, clean oil. They all come out dry on the other side, and whether they're adding a little sweet, they're adding a little salt.
Yeah, but it ain't broke.
They lengthen the chip. They shorten the chip. They ripple the chip.
But it's, you know, but it's a lot of hard work, and it was a lot of hard work and a lot of detailed experimentation, staying up nights and doing that
to get it
there. To get it there.
And
I mean, it looks easy, but you know, you don't know all the blood, sweat, and tears that went on.
The backstory.
The backstory. That one.
Exactly.
You know.
Behind the scenes.
Let's go to line 5.
Let's
Get this
do it.
call, and then we've got a real neat video we want to show you. Especially, and look at the hour is just
Flying by
flying
again.
by. Steve, do that.
Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
I'm Harvey Calloway. I'm calling from Tampa, Florida.
Hey,
Harvey, and your last name?
Calloway.
We don't know any Harvey, do we? Do we know?
I know
apparently,
Harvey.
Miss Stephanie, you must know Harvey.
I know
Harvey,
Mr. Harvey.
welcome to the Tampa Native Show. How are you?
I'm fine. Hey, Stephanie, how you doing, sweetheart?
Hey, honey, how are you?
Nice gentleman we met.
Of course.
We met you, Harvey.
Yes, we did.
Thanks for calling the show.
Hey, I'm fantastic. How you guys doing?
We're
Good,
doing
very
good.
good, very good. Tell us a Stephanie story, man.
You know, I had to call.
You be good. You be nice now.
Talk to my sister.
Of course, Stephanie says be sweet, but tell us a Stephanie story.
Well, me and Stephanie go back a long ways and so forth.
He's listening to the
I know.
show.
Mute your TV, Harvey. Just talk to us here on the phone because there's a little bit of a delay and it's kind of throwing you off. If you'll just talk to us here on the phone, it's a little bit easier for you.
Okay, but anyway, what I'm saying is, okay.
So just step away from your TV and talk to us on the phone.
Okay, but what I wanted to do is I want to explain to everybody about the Chifles and stuff, because I've been affiliated with the Argudo family about 7, 8 going on years now and so forth. Matter of fact, they were so blessed they kind of adopt me in the family. So I've been hanging around Stephen and the McKenzie and the Chifles for quite a while.
Yeah, you belong to us now, Harvey, like it or not.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You picked a good one.
And I'm not as fortunate as Tom, to be fortunate enough to have a pack right next to me.
He might tonight.
Well, listen, we got some here in studio, and I tell you what, we're going to be doing a drawing here in just a few minutes. So if you'll be gracious enough to give us your lucky number between 1 and 75, you might be a lucky winner of a bunch of Chifles products.
Well, I'm going to give you 60 because Stephanie and I are 60.
There you go. There
That's
you
right.
go.
Okay.
Bobby, thank you so much for calling. We appreciate it, man. And listen, we're here each and every week at 7 o'clock talking about all things growing up in Tampa.
That's right.
So feel free to call us anytime. And in a couple of weeks, not next week, but the week after, we're going to have Stephanie's mom on here, Miss Argudo, and she's going to be telling us a little bit about her story. So well, hopefully you'll call back then.
Okay, and thanks for accepting my call. You guys.
Oh, sure.
It was
of
great to
course.
meet you, Harvey.
Thanks, Harvey.
Listen,
We heard great things
We
about
love our
you.
first-time callers,
That's
man.
right.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
brother. Bye-bye.
Bye.
How
Nice
nice.
call. That was
how
very nice.
That's
He's
great.
just a
That's
sweetheart.
great. Show at tampanatives.com. If anybody would like to send us an email, if you have an inquiry, if you have an idea for a show, if
Pictures?
Pictures. We made that request at the top of the show
Yeah.
about the lettering for the windows of our cars,
too.
because we really need to have that done. Now, we've got another caller on the line, and we've got a video to get to, but we will get to the caller first.
Let's
Stevie, do that.
Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hey, it's Debbie and Rose from.
Hey, Debbie
Hi,
Rose.
Debbie.
Hi, Deb and Rose.
How you
Deb.
doing? Oh, we had such a nice breakfast the other day.
Oh, we
It
did.
was wonderful. Thank you so much. We appreciate you coming out and sharing that time with us.
We had a good time. Listen, unfortunately, I mean, I don't know what you want to call us, maybe crackers or something, but we didn't get them packed in our lunches.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. We got a breaking story. You mean to tell me you didn't get any Chifles in your product, in your lunch bag?
Oh, we had a regular banana maybe or something, but no, we didn't have those.
Okay, well,
That's
can I
close.
suggest to you that
Have
you make
you
up for
had
a lot of
one?
lost time, baby girl,
Yeah.
because we got plenty of them on the set, and you know what? They're delicious.
And we make them in a
Oh,
six-pack bag
no,
that you
they're
can put in
wonderful.
a
Now, the older
lunchbox.
we get, now let me tell you what, when we were younger, we ate them when they were salty.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Got to watch our salt now. Got to
Yes.
watch our salt. But that's why they make one with no salt.
Then we got to have the plain ones because
Right.
salt content. So
That's good.
I can't say if I can say one way or the other, but younger we like salty, older we like plain.
All right. Well, listen, you've got the boss lady right here now, so we're making notes, and she's going to go back to the factory and tell her factory leader, okay, this is what we need. We got the word on the street now.
Make those changes.
Salt or no salt. But here's what we're going to ask you real quick. We know your numbers already, darling. Is it 27 and 17?
27 and 17.
We'll write that
right.
down. We're going to get to a video here. Stick around because this video is real interesting, and we're going to show that. And so I can't ask you what you used to call them back in the day because you never got them in your lunch pail. But listen,
I'm guessing plantain chips.
we may just very well have a field trip planned, a Tampa Natives field trip.
That'd be fun.
And one afternoon, if we can get it coordinated with the boss lady, we'll all go over there and take a little tour of that facility. It won't take but about 3.5 minutes to see it all because there's not much to it, but it is real interesting to see the process in action. So
Wonderful idea. Make it on a Saturday or a Sunday when we don't have to work, and we'll be there.
we'll talk to the boss lady. Thank you, Debbie.
Thanks, Deb.
Excellent.
Thanks,
See
Dr.
y'all
Deb.
later.
Bye-bye.
Very nice. Meeting.
Yeah, very
Time
sweet.
for the video.
Nice
We're going to
lady.
go to the video now and then come back on the back side of the video, take a couple
This is
more
great.
calls before we get to our bolita drawing, Stephanie. This doesn't have any sound. No, it does have sound. Forgive me, it does have sound. This is Larry Cotton, gentleman who we met
At the Cuban
Cuban
Sandwich
Sandwich
Festival.
Festival this year. He works for Channel Fox 13.
Yes.
Channel 8.
Channel
Forgive me. I digress. That would be Channel 8. Larry Cotton, he's never going to forgive me for that. He's watching right now. Channel 8, they did a little video presentation. They went through and this is what we talk about. This is the process. Larry, take it away, man.
And Larry, of course, is our resident food
Foodie.
expert, right? One of our food experts, anyway.
Yes, he gets to go out and he gets to eat. So when you throw a party, you have to lay out some party snacks, of course.
And Larry's got a pretty good alternative here, because you got to have potato chips at any given party, right?
You do. It's a given. And today our own Daddy Mac of the snack, Larry Cotton, has a healthier alternative than the fattening potato chip.
Larry Cotton has gone healthy. Check it out.
Today I'm checking out a great American snack food. It's your barbecue potato chip. I'm checking out these. You know that chip that nobody seems to know how to pronounce.
Chifles Plantain Chips. Chifles Plantain Chips.
Chifles Plantain Chips? Chifles Plantation Chips. Hell, they look like bananas to me.
Chifles Plantain Chips.
Well, no matter how you pronounce it, they're awfully good. Let's go find out what makes them so good. Doesn't lot of chips going in there. Let's get one thing straight right off the bat, and that's the pronunciation. How are these things pronounced?
Chifles.
Chifles, and these are?
Plantains.
Plantains, not platans.
Not plantains, not
plantations.
That's right. Plantains.
Plantains. Now, where do these come from?
Well, we get them from Costa Rica. The plantain is a cousin of a banana. The only way you can eat a plantain is if it's cooked.
Now, a lot of people don't know about these chips that you make here. Take us through the process of how these things go from this stage to the chip stage.
Well, this right here is actually a peeled one of these. We take them, slice them. They go into a fryer. It's 335 degrees. They're fried for 4 minutes. They come out, they're salted, they're bagged, and shipped to the store.
Ready for surgery. No good. This is no good. They just kind of look like Dave Neiman. When you're looking for that perfect chip for your lips and more importantly your hips, you got to check out these plantain chips. See you next time on Good Eats. Eat as many as you want. I don't think they're going to run out anytime soon.
He ate all of them.
A year's supply for Larry.
I didn't know that you had to cook the plantain before you could eat the plantain.
You have to?
That's what he said in the piece.
Oh, well,
Weren't you
Larry
listening?
ought to know. Isn't that right,
Larry didn't
How do
say
you
it.
pronounce that? Is it Chifles?
Chifles.
Chifles?
Chifles, right? Right. Okay.
Chifles chips.
They were delicious.
Yes, they were, actually.
Mm-hmm.
We got the share bag. That's
Yes.
all Larry brought back.
That's
There's one
right.
bag
Thanks,
for the
Larry.
rest of the whole crew.
For more information, go to chifles-chips.com.
Okay, still to come on daytime. That paint guy's been...
Great video.
And from what I understand, Mr. Canella Tampa, a.k.a. Tampa Steve, you had something to say or something that you wanted to add?
Oh, no. Well, we were discussing the other night about how the name came about of Chifles, and I suggested to Mario that, you know, one of the pictures we looked at where it showed the tribe up in the mountains of Ecuador, I thought maybe one day the chief of the tribe left and never came back, so they were chiefless at that time. Maybe Stephanie can give us the real reason.
Leave it to Steve.
Tell us a little bit about...
I think that's a secret that only they know.
Really?
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
He was the chief of the Platanos.
Yep.
Of the Platano tribe.
Yeah.
And Ecuador is one of those places where Platanos just happen to thrive. Costa Rica is another place where the climate is just perfect, and as a result, you know, any of us that have had banana trees in our backyard here in Tampa realize what a daunting task it is to try to eradicate your backyard of those banana trees.
Yep.
Because they're prolific,
Yeah,
and
they
the
just
little
keep
babies.
shooting up everywhere.
So imagine a plantation that's nothing but planting trees, and maybe you can tell us a little bit, Stephanie, the difference between plátanos and bananas is as the tree itself, or is there a difference?
Well, yeah, there is a difference. The tree itself is larger, it's much taller, and the stalk that comes out is it bears fewer plantains because the plantains are larger.
Okay.
And the banana tree is smaller and it's more prolific because, as you see, like the picture of my grandfather, it was
tremendous stalks.
Yeah,
those
huge.
are plátanos, though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But a banana will have even more.
More, right.
Yeah, I mean, they're huge. Oh, look
at this.
There's that.
Look
at that cool old bus.
Yes, we saw this in pre-production, and we all said the same thing. Man,
love
we
that.
wouldn't give right now to have that vehicle.
I drive that around right
Oh, I would drive it around.
That'd be great with the
absolutely, I'd
Tampa
drive it.
Native show on the side of it.
That was one of the first delivery vans. There was another one that was not painted. This one was painted, and I think I said to you that if you lived in Claremont City and you went to Grace Covenant Presbyterian Church, chances are you rode in that at least. You rode in that because we took that to outings and sometimes to pick kids up to go to Sunday school. And so you rode in that bus. And my brother and I were mortified to ride in the bus because it was painted up. There was a sign painter who worked for the circus that had painted that in the front window there that you see. and we called it the Gypsy Wagon. We just died whenever we saw it coming around the
There was
corner.
something very special about not only that vehicle, but the way it was painted that way.
Absolutely.
I mean,
and my daughter, who's 22 now, she owns a 1970 VW camper.
Oh,
and we're like, ooh, you're channeling your grandfather.
That's a
I mean, you still see those vehicles on the road. Infrequently, I should say.
Few and
because
far between. We saw one the other day.
Very
remember?
far between.
Yes.
We got a caller on 4. We've got about 10 minutes left in the show.
Oh my, we missed the 15-minute mark completely.
Darling.
Oh, that's right.
You want to do it now?
Your 15 minutes is up. Let's go.
We got to hustle. Caller.
Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
This is Big Mike from Orlando.
Hey,
Big Mike. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much. It's very special. Stephanie, I'm looking at the picture right now of her dad in the background.
Yes.
On the left-hand side there. Can you see that, Stephanie?
Yep.
All right. You know what? I met you many, many years ago. Go way back in this. I'm not going to take up too much time, but, you know, the tradition in Tampa, absolutely another huge business that is just great, and everybody loves it, Chifles. Thank you so much for being on there. And, well, I tell you, I met your dad. I came to your house a long time. I was 4 or 5 years old, but boy, I got a good memory. And my dad knew your dad, Segundo, and we sat down at the dining room table like there was a pastor in the background that kind of, you know, remember this and that, but he was always saying, no, Segundo, primero, you know. I'm sure that's not the first time he's heard that. Your dad was brilliant as a businessman and everything.
Well, Big Mike, listen, we're going to have Miss Argudo, the La Reina de los Chifles. We have the Princesa with us tonight. La Reina is going to hopefully grace our studio in a couple of weeks. So we'll have another opportunity to talk to her in depth. We've got another caller that we've got to get to, and then we've got to get to our bolita drawing with about 6 minutes.
What's your number, Big Mike?
Give us your number, Big Mike.
Hold on 1 second. I want number 13.
13?
13.
Also, one question for Stephanie.
Okay.
Remember that hotel that you were at that has the hangover breakfast that brings you a Budweiser, because I want to go.
We're going to find out. I'm going to find out for sure. Thanks, Big Mike. We appreciate your call.
Love you guys. Bye.
Love you too, buddy.
Thank you.
Big Mike from Orlando. He watches from Orlando. Caller on 5.
Thank you.
Caller, you're on the air. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hey guys, Mario, this is Larry Cotton. How you doing?
Hey, Larry.
Hey, Larry.
Thank you so much for watching.
What a surprise.
No, thank you so much, man. Look, there's Stephanie right there. There's Larry Good Eats Cotton right there on the TV, man.
Yeah, that's about 5 years old. I remember Stephanie, and
I remember you. It was fun.
yeah, she hooked us up.
Yep.
Let me
We had
tell
a
you,
good time.
and you look fantastic with that little stocking cap or whatever that thing was on your head, man. That little net, that was cool.
It was a great factory. You know, it's not a huge factory. I was
right.
At all they do there. They really work hard there, and it's a great product, and I'm glad you guys are recognizing their business. You should be very proud.
Tremendous production out of that little facility. Stephanie and her family has done just an amazing job, and you know, they're quietly, man, they're just tucked away there in Brandon. They just keep working. They're steady at it. Their product is all over the country. We've encouraged all of our fans to take a picture with the product in hand and send it to us, and hopefully you guys are out there watching all around the country. Send us those pictures, man, because we want to show them in honor of the product and its wide distribution in 2 weeks when Stephanie's mom comes in. Larry, you got to come do our show too, man. Would you do that?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Get on there one day.
All right, good, because I know you've got stories too.
Yeah.
I have lots of stories.
Good, Larry. It was great meeting you at the Cuban Sandwich Festival, brother. And thank you so much for calling in tonight. Give us your lucky bolita number, brother, because we're going to give away some stuff here in a minute.
In just a second.
29.
What was it?
29.
29.
You might just
Okay.
win a bunch
Larry
of Chifles products, brother. And I got to be honest with you, they're delicious. Have I said that enough tonight?
You have. Yeah, I just want to win that hat you're wearing.
Ah, that's nice, man.
That's a special hat.
That's a special one.
All right, guys.
Thanks for
Thank
calling,
you, Larry.
Thank you, Larry.
Stephanie.
Bye.
Bye, Larry.
And you know what?
That's great, Larry.
The first-time callers usually
That's
win.
nice.
No.
They'll
We
probably
have
win.
a track record of first-time callers.
Very strange.
Winning.
We need to go with the bolita, or
we got about 5 minutes to go, 4
4
minute to go. Okay, real quick. Stephanie, tell our audience what they might win tonight if their number is drawn.
What they might win tonight is a case of 5-ounce original Chifles Plantain Chips.
There you are, ladies and gentlemen.
And
One
they
lucky
were
winner.
just made today.
One lucky winner is going to win this product. Stephanie, get in there and
Made
shuffle
today.
it up.
Right off the press.
Oh,
Yep, that's
I'm excited
that's
for
how
some
all our
lucky
stuff
winner.
is
I'm
done.
excited. Here we
It's
go.
made to order.
Just one winner tonight.
Here we go. Closest to
Okay, what do we have here? Oh, this is number 3.
Number 3.
Very low.
Oh, we're going to have to draw again? We're going to have to draw
or we
again
could
because
just
everybody
do
else
this.
is over. No?
Closest 2 without going.
Oh, wait a minute, Ladies and gentlemen. Confirm that for us, Stevie.
Big Mike Petrina.
Oh my goodness.
What's the Big Mike?
Yes.
Nope.
No,
because
wait.
It's going to be 3, 2, 1. Draw again, my man.
Really?
Draw again. Yep.
Yep.
Yep, because everybody's over.
One more time.
Everybody's
Okay.
over.
Yeah, it's okay.
Sorry.
You pull the
Close
Mario.
call, close
Pull
call.
the Mario. Pull the Mario.
Yes, I did.
All right, here we go.
Here we
Keeping
go.
the
Oh my
family
gosh.
tradition.
Come on, Stevie.
Four.
4.
Oh, no.
Go again. Go again. The third time is charm. Third
Maybe
time is
you
charm.
better draw,
Shake it
Dory.
out. She's got a little more.
I'm not having
Get in
good
there,
luck.
Steph.
I hate, come on.
Get in there, Steph.
High number.
High
Or
number.
Any number. Any number.
High number.
Watch it be 5.
Here it is.
Okay, 65.
65. 66. 66.
Close to 2 without going over.
Oh my goodness.
2 minutes.
You
left.
better draw again.
Yeah.
We're
Are
having
you
trouble
serious?
tonight. Yeah.
And we have 2 minutes.
See, this
Oh
is
no! Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
Closest 2 without
It's
going over.
Harvey.
Harvey Calloway, who works for
Harvey
Chifles.
won.
You want to go
good,
again?
Harvey.
You
Huh?
want to go again? Want to go again?
What, if Harvey won, I mean,
It's
Harvey
Harvey.
would
Harvey.
Harvey enjoy
Yeah,
that.
he won.
Harvey. We have a winner, ladies and gentlemen. How much time we have left? 2 minutes?
Less than 2 minutes.
Minute and a half. Stephanie, is there anything that you want to shout out tonight before? We had about a minute and a half. Give me something that... we're going to have your mom back in a couple of weeks, and you're going to come back with her. Hopefully the 3 of us, all of us will be together.
I think it'd be great, and I've had a wonderful time. I just want to say Chifles are really good for you. Please don't think that they're bad for you, because they're not. They're all natural, gluten-free. They're kosher certified by the Orthodox Union. They're a naturally low salt-free food, and actually, if you want to be technical about it, they're really organic, but we can't put it on the label because of certain constraints by the USDA.
There you go.
So eat away. They're good for you. Make you
Buy
happy.
some, get
They
some.
truly are.
Oh,
They
man.
truly are. I mean, it's hard for me to sit here and tell you, but they are, and they're just as close to being organic as it can possibly be.
And you know, I don't feel so guilty now because I ate the whole bag the other night.
Don't feel guilty, my brother.
feel
I ate
guilty.
the whole bag. I've
bags.
eaten 3 bags full. Okay, now in about 20 seconds, you're going to be able to turn over to the Olympics right after the credits roll here and watch the Olympics, because we did something real special tonight with the gold medal. All right, 30 seconds to go.
Where
I'm
does
so
time
glad
go?
we got that Bolita drawing right, man. We were having some trouble with that.
That was
numbers
tricky.
tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you'd like to go with us to the game on Saturday, give us a call. That's 813-920-2508. 813-920-2508. We'll be here every Thursday, 7 o'clock.
Like clockwork.
On behalf of Eric Cups and
Do this with us.
Hello, Dory. And of course, Stefani Argudo McKenzie, our wonderful guest tonight from the Chifles
Thank you.
Company right here in Tampa. Tampa Steve, 15-minute girl, do it with me. I'm Mighty News. Salute,
Salute
and happy
and happy
days.
days.
We love you, Tampa.
Bye.
Back when we were younger and everything seemed new, we used to have a lot of fun, yes we did, no matter what we do. Sleepy days, long summer nights, going anywhere we please, with love that I could call my own, love that I've always known, the city that I call my home, a home from which I never roam. This love affair was meant to be. I love her and she loves me. I remember Tampa, oh, she remembers me. She remembers me. I remember, yeah, yes I do. Oh, I remember, yeah, me and you. I'm a Tampa native, Tampa native, can't you see? I will share my story with you to preserve its history.
All right now, don't forget, Thursdays, 7 p.m. on TBCN, home of the Tampa Native Show.
He brought my Chifles.
Yeah, I do.
Out to the box. And so he was asking me,
Yeah.
and so I told him,